your ear and tell you you ain't got no business in here. I wish I had somebody that would know that God would speak through Jack Daniels. Even though you enjoying your drunken high, God will speak through that high and tell you after you get done throwing up, I still got a call on your life. I believe that God will speak through a marijuana high. I believe he'll speak at a crack table. Why? Because God cannot be defined by the size of a condition that we got going on in our life. But God is bigger than any high we can experience. He's bigger than anything we can enjoy. He's bigger than any state of life. And can I really help you? There is no low too low that God cannot pick us up because he specializes in doing things that seem to be impossible. Somebody shout, he specializes. I hate to have y'all keep helping me so much, but y'all waiting on me to jump off the diving board. You better come now, but once I move, I'm moving quick and I'm sitting down. Hallelujah. You got to understand that Jesus is trying to explain through this parable, not this parable, Lucy, he's trying to explain through this miracle that I specialize in no matter what state you are in. And some of us, hallelujah, as mean as some of us were, God kept us and he didn't let us leave here as evil and mean as some of us were. That's another reason to tell God thank you. Some of us, the ideas and the thoughts we had in our mind against people, if God had taken us at that time, there's no way we would have had a chance at heaven. With some of the hate and bitterness, oh God help me here, that we had in our heart against people because of how they treated us, because of how we felt they dogged us and walked on us, even though they did the damage. If we hadn't got delivered in our mind and in our heart, we would still go miss heaven. But aren't you glad that ain't no one person got authority over your spirit emotion? Aren't you glad no situation will keep you bound and send you to hell? Lift your hand and shout, thank God I'm free. Thank God I'm free. And we look here at the man of God, Jesus, showing up at the right time. Yes. And if God hadn't showed up at the perfect time for me, I would have did a whole lot of things that I should not have done. Me too. You may not admit it, but you could have committed murder if God hadn't stepped in at the right time. Thank you, Jesus. Well, maybe y'all too deep for that, but I had to ask God to forgive me. Entertaining the spirit of murder. Hallelujah. And thank God for Jesus for intervening and showing up at the right time. Here, Jesus is proving to us that he will step into any situation in any man's life. God began to deal with me here on employment. Why employment? Why? Because employment is one of the things that we are wrestling with in this nation. Jobs are hard to find, not some places, everywhere. Jobs are hard to find in the north and they're hard to find in the south. I hear people say, well, if you want a job, you can find a job. That may be true, but you got to take some things into consideration. You got to remember a mother who has 3 or 4 children working at $8 an hour without no transportation. Some may say, well, at least it's a job, but you got to understand that mother has to take and stretch that $8 an hour, that $8.50 an hour. She has to make it work for her. Because watch this, the more that unemployment go up, the less benefits they give. That's really understanding how it is that a mother who don't want a whole lot of support, just want a little help, can't get none because they say a single parent makes too much money. Anytime there's still a need, there ain't no such thing as too much money. But unemployment yet goes up, benefits continue to go down. Now as we look at even threatening the disconnection of the extensions of the unemployment, thus leaving people with waiting to fill your spot. But you better tell your neighbor, when God got his hand on you, they can't dog you out. And so because of this unemployment, y'all follow me here, because of this unemployment situation, the enemy is starting to get in the minds of folks and starting to bug them and taunt them and say, listen, it's always somebody that can fill that job. But my grandfather taught me well. He said, son, when you do a good job, do it so good that others can't copy you. And do it so good it would be impossible to replace you. You got to do it real good. But don't do it so good you let everybody know how you do it. You got to understand, dear precious people of God, that in the Bible we notice that Jesus has never failed to be one assignment that he was ever commissioned to perform. Somebody shout glory. And here I'm reminded here of the right person for the right job. And I know unemployment may be high and there may be lines of people waiting to apply for a job. But just because they apply and have the qualifications, it does not mean they are the right man or woman for the job. Just because they got a degree, I'm trying to help somebody. Just because they have 30 years of experience, that does not mean they are the right person for the job. This is a true life story. One man that I pastored, he did not have a formal education. He could not read, neither could he write. He could not fill out a simple job application. But the man of God was given a word one day, and his word was, the Lord is going to bless you with a good job. Well, his wife kind of chuckled like Sarah did. How is God going to bless my honey with a good job? And he can't even read and write. But the word went on that God's going to bless him with such a good job that he's going to be able to buy you a brand new car off the showroom floor. This ain't no make-believe, it's real stuff. And she began to dance and shout. And folks began to make fun of her, saying, you can't receive everything these prophets say. How can your husband get a real good job and he can't even read and write? That woman looked at them folks that was in her church with tears in her eyes. That's before they got here. And she began